Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. My name is Brother Hamza Foy, the Emir of the Louisville Muhsineen. Alhamdulillah, the Louisville Muhsineen has been gathering for over 2 years now. And it's at this point that we recognize that as more and more people learn of the men who are members of the Louisville Muhsineen, they begin to ask, reasonably so, what is the Louisville Muhsineen? The Louisville Muhsineen is an effort that started out with a handful of brothers. And when I say a handful of brothers, these are adult brothers who are mukallaf, morally responsible. It actually sprung out of conversations that we had with one another after the blessed month of Ramadan. And it has slowly transformed into a gathering of around 30 or so active members. The Louisville Muhsineen is a gathering of adult men in our Muslim community, and we have 3 primary goals. The first one is in recognition of the fact that as adult Muslims who are mukallaf, morally responsible, there is a responsibility on our shoulders to develop ourselves to be the best versions of ourselves. First and foremost, to seek the pleasure of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and for our families, for our spouses, for our masaajid, and for all of our community. Islam is a complete way of life, not just something that is practiced when you enter the double doors of your given musalla and then you step out and you act a complete different way. Islam dictates how to live your life, how to treat your spouse, how to treat your children, how to treat your parents, how to treat your neighbors, how to treat your employers, your employees, and all of the members of our local society. So that first goal is to strive to be the most excellent in all parts of our life. Our knowledge, our personal affairs, our family affairs, our employment, the way we earn our rizq. So we have a number of different workshops that touch on these different parts of one's life. The second goal is to unite ourselves. MashaAllah, Louisville is a big city with a small town feel. We have over a dozen masaajid, and many of the masaajid, through no fault of their own, many of the masaajid sprung out of the various immigrant diasporas that came to Louisville. So you had one masjid, the Somali masjid, one masjid, the Syrian masjid, one masjid, the Pakistani masjid, so on and so forth. Our generation, when I say our, I mean the young men, 20s, 30s, our generation, alhamdulillah, we have a common language now. There is no excuse for separation. Whereas separation back then was merely a product of the circumstances. Yani, we do not have that excuse. So we unite brothers from different masajids, from different neighborhoods in Louisville, the West End, South End, East End. We bring all of these brothers together for the sake of Allah. And we work all together, not partisan to any specific masjid. we seek to help all of the masaajid and all of the Muslim brothers and sisters who gather in those masajid. The third goal is, and this is one of those like long-term goals, our elders in our community at the various masajid have taken care of so many of the الكفاية, communal obligations. Now, of course, no one knows when they're going to pass away, but reasonably speaking, as time moves on, the elders will start to pass away, and that torch, that baton, is going to be passed back to our generation. Now, imagine you're in a foot race, right? And you pass the baton at different parts of the track. We have one of two choices. Either we are going to grab that baton and keep running, and inshallah run just as fast, if not faster, than the elders who passed it on, or we're going to fumble it, we're going to drop it on the ground, we're going to stumble. And this is not something that we should take lightly. One of the successes of the Louisville Muhsineen, and I say this with all due respect, the ghusl mayyit for the male population in our community. MashaAllah, so many of our elders had taken care of the ghusl mayyit whenever a brother passed away. I can reasonably say that over the past few years, 90% maybe of the ghusl mayyit is either led by a member of the Muhsineen, or at least a member of the Muhsineen is participating. And I know our elders are humble, but for this specific success, I want to take a moment to thank brothers including Sheikh Rashid Hamlouchi, Mustafa Abu Shwayma, Muhammad Abu Ilyas, and others for having taken the time to teach us over those years. But that third mission is to equip our men of our generation with the capability and the capacity to fulfill the various kifaya, communal obligations, to step up, to sacrifice some of our time, some of our physical effort, our mental effort. MashaAllah, one of the things that I want to dispel, and I'll close this video with this, one of the things that I want to dispel, because it's very common that, and I appreciate it, people say, Louv Muhsineen, Shabab, the youth. I guess, technically speaking, we are kind of like young men, 20s, 30 years old. We're not like a youth club. This is not like send your 12-year-old, 13-year-old, 14-year-old, 15-year-old, and they hang out for a couple of hours and then go home each week. No, this is not a youth club. This is a gathering of brothers who take their deen seriously and want to improve themselves. MashaAllah, among our gathering have been brothers who have memorized more Quran, brothers who have attained more fluency in Arabic, brothers who have started businesses together. MashaAllah, tabarakallah. This is a gathering of sincere, serious brothers who take it upon themselves. We gather typically on Sundays after Dhuhr. From time to time, we have activities outside of that. We're always having different workshops on different subject matters that's going to improve us. Because there is a very serious need in our community. And I'll end with this. Hopefully it's a good takeaway that everybody, brother, sister, young, old, takes to heart. We need to make a concerted effort to improve ourselves and to improve the quality of the sahba, the companionship around us. For the betterment, first and foremost, for the pleasure of Allah. And so this, inshallah, will benefit us in the akhirah, but also because this will make us stronger members in the community. Rather than members who take, I need. These are brothers that are, I'm going to sacrifice. I'm going to give. Inshallah, this is given a general summary of the Louisville Muhsineen. Anybody who has questions, they are welcome to ask me. Although I'm the Amir, mashallah, I have a good small core of admins that help with our programs. May Allah reward each and every one of you and make these weighty deeds on your scales, both for the admins and the general members who take that time each week to gather. Barakallahu feekum. Wassalamu alaikum.